So, welcome to. Oh my god, where's my voice? Welcome to the Cornerbread Studio. We're live streaming again today because I finally pushed out another tutorial. Finally, I've been itching to do a live stream, but I was like, I need to prioritize the. It's like one of my favorite songs of all time. But yeah, I just wanted to like full on do my video editing for my latest Nomad Sculpt tutorial, which is about sculpting scale armor pieces with Elden Ring, Masma, and Nightwing Wilder as my models. Yay. It's so fun when you can make your own things for your tutorials. Anyway. I have pup here today. His name is Latte. So cute. And just say hello. Look at the paw. It's so precious. He's like a living carpet. So precious. Latte. You don't like this? So I'm not sure whether I can sculpt two hands today. But yeah, so tutorial's out. I hope that if you watch it, or if you're interested in watching it, that you'll enjoy looking at the nice visuals for it, because I worked really hard for the visuals. And like, I guess I feel like putting nice visuals is a great way for me to make up for a lot of things that I lack. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you learn something from it, because they're all very useful tips. Well, I always try to include very useful tips in my tutorials, where like it's more practical and more all encompassing, general, so that, because I always feel like when making art, everyone's so like everyone's interest is so personal, and like it's nice to have a very specific tutorial and like follow it, but I guess like growing up in art school, but being in having a history in art school and all that, and just like having the exposure to people's like concerns, like other artists' concerns. I feel like one of the main concerns is like that keeps coming up is that, oh, like I don't know what to do. Yeah, like I don't know what to do if I'm not following a tutorial. So like it's very easy to go down like the tutorial trap. And then after that, it's like, oh, what do I do after I learn something? And I guess that's like the kind of thing that I want to like address in my Cornerbread studio. I mean, it is a big task to like I don't even know whether I'm doing the right thing. But yeah, so like I always wanted to make tutorials that have some flexibility or like general notes so that people can more like understand things rather than just copying things or like following a specific thing and then you wouldn't really know how to apply it to something that's very different. Because like I like to do plants, but I feel like I haven't really seen a lot of plant stuff, especially in 3D. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of plant stuff out there, but I feel like plants is not really it's not really, I think it's not really what's that, like a popular mainstream interest. But I always like doing this kind of stuff, so, and I like Dark Souls stuff, so that's like a given to do Dark Souls stuff. But yeah, anyway, enough talking. Pup is so cute. I wonder whether they can see the snout. Oh, his ears. Do you see this ear? So precious. So cute. Cute little snout. It feels nice to hug this moving carpet. Anyway, so I've been busy like trying different things in Nomad Sculpt because let me pick a song first. Yeah, I've been busy trying to figure out what to do with my sculpts, if that makes sense. Because I always feel like something's missing, especially for like the painting side of things, or like material UV stuff, which I'm not going to go into because I found this method of painting that I really like. I think like a little history, there was I forgot which tutorial it was, but like I really like to just randomly watch different types of tutorial once in a while, just to kind of like get a feel of what's coming out, since I'm just like doing my own stuff right here. And then there's this thing about I've been working on my DaVinci editing for so long that I kind of like, oh, right. So under filter, there's this thing called keep sharp edges. And by default it's set to 180 degrees. I'll show you what it does later on. And I think I'll just open the other one because it's a lot easier to see. So this one, this is my first sculpt that I did in Nomad Sculpt a long time ago. Like, I guess if you think like this is like, oh whoa, like this is your first sculpt, I spent many months on this. But maybe it's like too long. But the reason why I spent so many months on this is that I was just trying to learn so many things, and there's so many like trial and error and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, I think in the past, and also because I was using the first generation iPad Pro, and with that first generation iPad Pro, I have very limited RAM. Like with this sculpt, whenever I start sculpting a little bit, like touching things up, I think there's like 2 gigs of RAM in that one. Like within minutes, where's my stats? I'm like talking to myself because I'm trying to orientate. Wait, why is this 8 gigs? Why is it so low? Let me clear up the RAM for my iPad. So I have about 2 gigs. This one has 16 gigs. Are you comfortable like this, Latte? And then yeah, I can see like just opening this file, it already used 1.1 gigs. And then once I start moving, like doing stuff around, it goes to like 1.5. And then as time passes by, the amount of RAM goes down from like 2 to like 1.7 gigs. So like, I feel like I couldn't even I couldn't even like paint on this. But let me show you how it looks like without you turn on. I'm planning my next tutorial, and the next tutorial will be about my macropad, because it's I think it's a super overdue one. And I realized when I was making my tutorials that there's so many times where I'm like, oh, and I'm using my macropad. Like, oh, I'm using my macropad for this. Yeah, so I just feel like the next tutorial has to be about my macropad. So this is how it looks like without the paint. I need to bring down. And then, not sure whether it was this matte cap. But yeah, I felt like something was missing from this. And like, you can see the details are kind of like not there. And then if let's say if I'm just going to this is another test that I did based on ocean spray. I'll show you how I do this later on. Then I did try like painting like this when I was testing things out, and like I can't really get a lot of things, especially in lit PBR mode. Like it feels really flat, I guess. I'm not sure. But like, I'm just checking that I'm not doing something stupid. But yeah, it's like, it feels like it's still missing something. Like, I'm not sure whether you understand what I mean with like there's something missing about this. But like, I really like to do very detailed drawings like this, and I feel like, how to say, yeah, I just felt like something wasn't right. But anyway, a while back I had watched this tutorial on, where is it, on this one filter with like keep it sharp, and I can demo it on a box. So what this does is, let's say if I set it to like 22 degrees and then I paint this, you can see that it doesn't go to anything else, like the normals. It doesn't go to the other side because the normals are too different. So this thing is, what is this thing? Yeah, it excludes points whose normals differ too much, whatever. And so because this is like 90 degrees for the normals, then it's ignoring these. And I think this was kind of used, I can't remember what the tutorial was, but it was kind of used for like, let's say if you sculpt like this. Let's say if you sculpt like this, you need to make it more intentional, like that. And you're like, oh, I only want to paint the stuff down there. Or I guess like you can smooth or you can brush just those stuff. Is it for painting or is it for brushing? When the demonstration was about, let me see. Yeah, so like that. So it's good for like, let's say if you're geometry, and this is the Nomad Sculpt manual. Yeah, the manual for Nomad Sculpt, where like, let's say you have a floor, there's a lot of cobblestones, and you just want to paint the dirt path between the cobblestones. You know what? It's just a lot easier for me to do this over here. So, like, I don't know how to do stones. Oh my god. And I guess, what the shit, man. Can you imagine these are really beautiful rocks, pavements, and like, oh, I want to paint that area down there. So if you do this, it's like not painting, but if you bring this up, then you can see I can just target these areas here, and I don't know why I'm using purple. Martian terrain. So yeah, so this is what this is. I'm going to delete this now. What was this? Okay. And so anyway, based on that, I was thinking like, you know what? Maybe there's something you can use with this thing. And this is like months later, I guess. And like, I think I spent like about a week testing this out and like failing so many times. And I was like, maybe I should try do this. And indeed, it looks really nice. And the cool thing is that because I've already put in so much work in these things, actually the colors are just atrocious. I've really spent although I guess it's good to do some experimentation, because it's like I just found this really recent. Okay, like I'm still not really sure whether I want part of it to be white or whether or not I want it to be colored somewhere. Yeah, it's a really cool look. Why did it take so long to explain what I'm doing? Well, that's what the tutorials are for, right? So that I can edit all my crap up. Take out all the like boring shit out. Okay, I need to delete this now. So that's what this is. And I'm going to demonstrate this. What do I want to do? So I have some like what's that? I have some reference. I'm not sure whether do I have any reference here? Huh, it's not here. You bring it once. So I have this blender render for this specific sculpt, and I guess like I always really like these kind of colors, so I'll do that later on. But for now, I think this might be more practical because Like, who doesn't like the ocean and waves? And like when I was testing things, I was thinking that like if it's colored like this, it's not really that nice. Like it feels like it's losing some it's losing some value. So I think I like it having some white, but I like to mix it up, I guess. So the first thing that I'll do, and I'm doing this because let me demonstrate. So like with this keep sharp thing, this 180 degrees, which is this, and then there's 0, which is like almost nothing, and then there's the in between, but there's no reverse for like these areas here. So I can't really, like, let's say I can paint, you choose some nice colors. So let's say if I want to paint this, oh my god, it's so bright. I feel like this is a bit hard to show. So yeah, so like I can target these. So I can target these, but then like you can see that it was like I can't really get all of them, and if I accidentally go over to this one, then it'll start painting this one too. Whereas if I paint the larger areas like this with like a large brush size like this, you can see that I don't really go onto these areas, even though I'm just like doing this. So that's the main limitation of this. And I guess I did send a feature request to like because my boyfriend like does programming, and I asked like, is it easy to like request for like the opposite side? And he said like it sounds like it should be, like it's just adding more values, I hope. But anyway, I requested, although it's like really not, it's not, what's that called? It's not necessary. But to work around this, I'll need to plan the base colors first, because I can't really change that anymore. So let me get the base color. So it'll be white. And because it's like an ocean spray, I think I can go a bit like this color. And I have a bunch of settings like preset. These are just like different angles like this. And I'm going to, oh wait, no. I'll do like a texture brush to just randomly scatter this color around. And this one is just a paintbrush, but with this default alpha channel somewhere down there. It's this one. I just like the shape of it. It's not, no other particular reason to choose that. And let me reset this first. You're tuning into the live stream. I hope that you have a good time. And again, I hope that you'll enjoy my tutorial. And I guess the cool thing is that I can finally do something like less beginner in my mind for my tutorials, because I got like the file organization tutorial out, and then I got the, what's the second, symmetry basics out, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really need to go through like the super basic stuff anymore, at least in the most part. so I can focus on the things that I have more interest in. I think it also helps to like not fill up the tutorial too much, because like in some sense the basic stuff is always the basic beginner things are always like is like kind of usually the same stuff, I think. Very similar things. And I guess I kind of want to contribute to like more intermediate or like more advanced things. And like there's so many really good beginner tutorials for Nomad Sculpt out there. So I feel like if anyone wants to learn like Nomad Sculpt basics, like watch and support those channels, because they're like so good. But like I am always kind of like, how to say, like, am I sad or am I frustrated that I don't really see a lot of advanced things for like sculpting or for art online, at least on YouTube. I'm sure it's probably because everyone is like trying to get their own courses out there. But anyway, I want to contribute in those areas, so I hope that I can do that in the next few months. So I've kind of scattered the color. I'm not sure whether they can see it. I guess you can see a bit. It's really faint, but I'm trying to keep the white values, because I'm going to work like dark in this one. So I'm really like just trying to keep, I don't want it to be like this, because it starts getting too dark. So I'm just like trying to just add variations in the colors. And by the way, like I woke up early to walk the pup outside. I haven't woken up yet. I had a cup of coffee, but I have a cup of latte, but I'm not awake yet, so I feel like every time I want to live stream, I'm like sleep deprived like this. I guess live streams are just about chilling out and having fun, and for my case it's about experimenting things. And I guess like give you some courage that like making art is a lot of trial and error, like a lot of experimentations, a lot of failures, and a lot of hard work. Okay, so yeah, like I think this variation's pretty good, and now that I'm doing this for like I don't know how many time, it feels like more intuitive to me, which always feels really nice to have that experience. So like I like this white area a lot more than this one, because I think this is already too dark. Like if I paint this, wait, is it too dark? Is this even brighter? Yeah, this is brighter. Then the next thing to do would be to choose like quite random colors in the midtones. So maybe I want like a cooler blue, like this. And I'm going to use 22 degrees or 15? I guess 15 is like it's starting to weed out a lot of, I feel like it's too much white areas. So I think I like 22 degrees with this one. So I'm going to do some magic to this. because all these are still experimentation. I haven't done enough to like, okay. Let me hold you better. Are you more comfortable like this? It's nice to have a pup to keep me warm in the aircon. I'm just babysitting him for the weekend though. Okay, as you can see, I'm just going really lightly. The reason for that is to create more variations, like this. I'm always a fan of like just doing a light pressure thing for sculpting. So there's some lighter areas here, some darker areas here, and now that that is done, I will go for the dark areas. I'm not sure, no. I guess nowadays I like to do like the secondary colors. I guess when doing these kind of things, I'm also trying to like think about how do I structure a tutorial when doing this, because like you can tell from my live streams that my thought process is like always all over the place. And I guess that's just the nature of like, if I'm just like new at doing something, it's just going to be how it is. Like I don't have like the 1,000, 10,000 hours like put into it yet. I just need to be nice to myself and be like, you know what, it's completely fine to be so disoriented. Although sometimes I feel like it gives me so much stress. I'm like, why is everyone else so put together while I'm not? Anyway, I like to go like around, like let's say if I choose a color like here, then I like to go like up and down and up, and then put the color down, and like I think this is looking a bit too cheesy, so I'll go down a bit, maybe up the saturation, and then like it's still a bit cheesy. Thing that's, although this is looking quite different. Okay, so I'll kind of like spend my time around this, like from this blue to around this greenish blue. Yeah, I think that's better. Then I'm going to use a really dark color like this and go into it in a very selective way. So the reason why I'm doing something like this is to create this effect of like there's some depth into, like when you look at the side of like, do you see at the side of the, well, when you look at like a water body, you see like there's some stuff on the surface like this, and then you can see like the darkness way behind it, like in the distance from it, and like your brain will know that this area is like really far away compared to the, like let's say the white foam on a water surface. And that's the kind of feeling that I want to replicate with this. And the cool thing about this is that because I have this, so like all these surface details here, that like, let me put the wireframe. I'm not really sure whether that's if that's any better. But so I have like all these different normals that kind of like protrudes out like this. So they kind of mimic like the white foam from the surface of the water. And like it just always it feels so magical when I do this. And suddenly it gives so much depth to this thing that's like so skinny. Like that. Like suddenly it feels so deep. So I like to, but it doesn't really work like this. I can see like, oh, now it looks really flat. It looks more like just a lot of which I haven't really looked at this before. Yeah, like it looks more like a pattern rather than like something in 3D space, if you get what I mean. So I like to like the kind of like the variations in depth in water. I like to do the same thing with this, like that. But of course, I want to make sure that I'm not touching these things. So I will make sure that I'm touching this first. Although I guess it's kind of getting onto it. Maybe I should go last then. Although then, actually this is a, you know what, this is quite cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Because it leaves some of these brighter areas inside. Like it's a different look from this, I guess. Like there's a lot less of the bright areas coming through the edges here. It's always nice to find like something random and new when trying these things out. Also, why I spend so much time experimenting. Although I guess like I really shouldn't be spending so much time. I should be spending more time making tutorials instead. But then it's like all these experimentations is what drives my idea generation for tutorials. So it's like finding the balance, I guess. Right, Latte? Finding the balance. I wish I can. Let me take a photo. I guess it's hard to tell. Ah, it's so cute. So yeah, very delicate touches like this, just to give that variation, like make it feel very organic, random, like this. It's something that I would wonder about when it comes to this is like how transferable this is to like other people sculpting, I guess. I guess like that'll be quite hard to tell. Like if I make a tutorial like this, will it be useful, I guess. That's like what I wonder about. So because I feel like this is kind of being like too symmetrical right now, and I don't really like that. So I'm looking at the overall picture like this, and just based on that, I'm like, maybe it will look nicer like this. So maybe with this, and then if I like the idea of it, then I'll expand it further or exaggerate it a bit more. So I think this looks better because like it's not like two circular blobs anymore. And we're going to go even further with this later on. So maybe like this. Like this is still layer 2 out of 5. Wait, no, layer 3 out of 5. And like we can just keep going back and forth. The only ones that we can't really touch would be these ones. And I guess we can go with this layer thing. Wait, actually, why didn't I do this? Although the only problem with this one is that once it starts smudging, you see like it starts doing this like flickery thing. Like the alpha channel has like some weird issues. I think that's why I've been avoiding this a bit, because like when I'm painting and all this stuff, and then suddenly I do like a smudge somewhere, then there's like this permanent flickering happening there. I don't know whether it's a bug, but yeah, there's something that annoys me a bit. But anyway, this good training for me. Then now that the darks are established, I feel like overall it's still a bit too white. And I think it's missing a lot of these blues, like this one. So I'm going to... What am I going to do? I'm going to find that blue. Then maybe... Wait, what the hell? Oh, right. I'm going to go with a smaller brush and like go to some of these areas like this. And when I'm doing this painting, it's really all about like, oh, I really like this area here, and then am I not? I really like that area here, so I can choose to like push it a bit further. So I drop this, maybe go a bit like the opposite direction, and then more saturated, and just like push it a bit, just to make it like pop more. I'm not sure whether it shows. Like this is before, and then this is after. Okay, it's not really that obvious. Then I can also go... I realized that it's a lot harder to like paint properly while I'm talking and like trying to explain what I'm doing, because it's always the case. Like I like to put these bright areas right beside the dark ones. So like something like this. Something like that, although I feel like something's missing. Maybe this blue. Yeah, I think this is what's missing. Like this, the transition from this cooler dark blue to this green. And then I can even go back to this. And then darken some areas a bit. If I had to explain what I'm doing right now, it's probably just like feeling the vibes of this. So like darkening these areas that I like, and then zooming out to check the areas. And there's this area here which I really like, and I feel like I need to try and get that by darkening things a bit more, because I've been going really light. So all these are still like maybe 70% opacity. Oh, just saw the chat. Hello Peter, thanks for coming in. Looks complicated to do. How long does one of this take? Well, I don't really know. But this was like a few months. But like it was because before I did this, like I didn't know about dynamic topology. So I felt like I wasted so much time like trying to sculpt this and like just fighting my way through everything. And then when I finally learned how to do dynamic topology, then I had like this learning curve, because like every time you learn something new, it's like the learning curve is like this. So yeah, like if I already knew how to do all these things and like I'm doing this from scratch, maybe it'll take a shorter time. But yeah, in the past I did live stream sculpting this sculpt. It's like some of my older live streams. Yeah, I think it was pretty slow. So let's see. But the painting part on itself, I think it's not really that complicated. It's just complicated to me, or like it just seems more complicated because, at least the way that I'm showing it, because I'm still like trying to experiment things. So like where was I? All right, the dark areas. So I'm going to do like darker areas, and I try to like blend it to this, but try not to like do 50-50. So you can see like if I start doing like 50% opacity everywhere, then it becomes really like muddy and bland, I guess. So I try to keep the boundaries clean while not making it too like what's that? Making it like this. You see how sharp this boundary is? And later on I'll do the same painting on like a simpler surface, because that's also something that I'm testing out. So yeah, like this. Hey, the thing is that, wait, why am I not painting anything? All right. The thing is that I'm also not really sure, like, do I go for the dark areas first? Or do I go for the light areas first? I feel like it's quite hard to tell. So I like this. And then I feel like right now if it looks like it's lacking a deep blue saturation. So that's what I'm going to do. So back to the palette. Let's find this. See, like this looks really nice. Like that. Okay, so like I guess I'm wrong. I was wrong about having that sharp edge. It does create a more reflective look. So I think I don't really like this color overall with everything else. But I'll use this as like a scatter. I'll scatter this around just to give like a variation. So I'm being very mindful not to like do really even areas like this, because it's really obvious, like, oh, you see like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 is super even. It's going to be really obvious. So I'm making sure that some areas are like has more of those colors, some areas just like a little bit like this, like that. And I want to keep this bright area here, but maybe I want to get some like of this saturation, like that. Then maybe choose like some greener color. And then like, so there's some areas like this where it's just one flat color. So I'm going to do this to add like a gradient variation to this. Same for this one, like that. So I think by now it looks very complicated, but it's not really that. It's just like choosing different colors, and then like, let's say if I try like a, I don't know, just to try a pinker color, and like, oh, you know what, like it looks nice, so I'm just going to use it. It's as simple as that, I guess. Looks pretty cool. So just have to be mindful that doing 50%, I mean like doing very light opacity, like with a blue and a red, it's going to turn into purple. And I'm not really sure whether I like the purple. So maybe I'll just do it more on like the green areas. Maybe to the dark areas too. I also like how brainless this is. I feel like with editing this tutorial was so like intensive, and yeah, I wanted to do a live stream with this because I kind of knew that I can just chill out if I'm doing this. I don't really like this area. Maybe I'll go like more like this. But I also don't want to destroy too much of the dark areas. So like, and I think that's too much, because I only want this color to be like an accent piece. Because variations are always more interesting. If everything is too even, like it suddenly loses a lot of interest. So like, let's say if I paint it like this, where it's just everywhere, then suddenly it becomes very messy and like, how to say, it's like, it looks very flat like this. I prefer it more like this, but it's just like a little bit to push it out. And then right now it feels like it's too it's too, like, everything's just too like saturated bright. So I'll use like a plainer color, like a more muted color, to go over this, to go over the areas that I don't really like. I don't really like this very purple, bright purple blue areas. So maybe I can overwrite that with this. And then it's missing a lot of dark colors. I feel like the purple areas, the pink areas are too different. So I'm just going over these areas with this greenish blue, in the hopes that all the stuff that I've been doing is just like in the hopes that it looks better than before. And if it doesn't, then I will just undo it. So I think it looks a lot better like this. Yeah, this is quite a different look from this. And it's really just about experimenting, I guess. Like, honestly, I don't really know what I want to do this with. I guess the aim for this one is to just like try and be more consistent with my methods, because I feel like that is something really important when learning new things, or like doing a new technique. It's like trying to figure things out, try to figure out how to replicate things. Share like this blue. And I feel like honestly, I feel like I'm not really doing a great job at it. because I'm still not filling this one, but that's not bad, I guess. It's not too bad. Like, do I like this one more than this one? I feel like maybe not. So I guess learning from this, I'll kind of want to have like more colors on the white areas. But then, as I mentioned before, like I can't get to them. Like, I can't get to them now without affecting these areas. So it'll be something that I'll do more in the future when I'm starting out. But I'm trying to like target those areas a bit. Yeah. Well, it's always something new to learn every single time. I feel like that's always I feel like that's the fun part in making art too. Like figuring things out and becoming better. I think that's always something nice. Like, even if I'm old and retired, I'm just going to keep doing all these things because it's just so fun. So I think what's missing from this is very clear boundaries on the dark areas. Like, that's too symmetrical. And like the dark areas are not big enough. And I should, no, that's not nice. Like the dark areas wasn't big enough. So I'm keeping this area like intentionally lighter as a whole compared to like this area or like this edge. And I like the way that this dark area here is oh, hello AC Dragon. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so like I like this and the transition to this. And like all these things are like, honestly, like all these things are really accidental and unintentional. But like, because I like this transition, I'm going to try and mimic that somewhere else. But somewhere, so like I have this point, this one. I think this one is nice. So I'll do the same thing, and then I'm going to eyedrop this. So you can see, like, as things builds up and happy accident starts coming your way, like it can become a lot faster to like, oh, like now I can decide this is something that I really want to keep, and then I'm going to spread it around like that. So that's like the way that I've been painting nowadays in Nomad Sculpt. I don't really know whether you can paint like this in other softwares. I probably can. Like, it's probably simple enough to do that. Yeah, it looks a lot better now as a whole. Maybe I'll bring this a bit to 1, 2, 3. I don't want it here because then it becomes very symmetrical. So maybe this point here. Like that. And then put like really saturated colors like this. And then darken this area right before the saturation. Like that. But from far it looks a bit, this looks a bit too gray, I guess. So that's better, but maybe I just move this out a bit. And then going around to like push things a bit more. Like I like to do small areas like this. And then there's something that I'm still struggling with, which is getting my dark colors to be saturated. I think that's a big struggle. I don't really know whether it's just the way that, no, it's not. I'm just trying to cope. Also, the way that I go around it is that I make sure that I really go like high opacity with the dark areas. But of course, if I do that, then I'll need to do the same to everything else, or else it's like a really random spot here. So maybe because of that, I'm not going to do that. Or maybe I just like spread this out here, maybe like that. I think that's enough of this. I've been also trying it out on simpler shapes like this, and also this one. So I'm gonna bring up the, and I guess I will end the stream shortly. I think I always say that and then I don't end it. I don't end it shortly. So I like the way that these colors blend together. So that's why I'm trying with this one. And I think after testing this thing out, I realized that like, oh, like it is applicable to simple stylized sculpts too. I haven't tried on the torso though, so let's try it there. I forgot which one. Is it 15? Or is it 10? I think maybe 10. Because I think because this is like a more uniform shape, that it has to be, I think it has to be yeah, I think it has to be less, because 22 is like it's affecting everything still. So 15? No, 15 is still, yeah, I think 10 degrees. You're just tuning in 10 degrees on filter, keep sharp edges, 10 degrees. But I like this, but I don't really want to copy it exactly. So maybe like more muted, I don't know. I mean, all these things are not final yet. It's just testing. But maybe I want some like color bleed But see, the problem with the dark colors, if it's just if it's not like high opacity enough, it becomes very muddy. But this is too blue. This is too blue. So maybe I'll go a bit more green. This orange is not nice. I feel like this red with this blue looks a bit muddy. So maybe more, maybe like this. Yeah, I don't really know what color I want for the torso too. Maybe I spread this around just to mix the colors up. Maybe like this. Maybe, I don't know. No. Sometimes like I need to undo the brush strokes because I don't want it affecting like different colors on different planes, like looks different. Does that make sense? That doesn't look nice. This one's a bit this one looks a bit flat. I think it's because I don't have like the plane. I think also I shouldn't use symmetry on this. This is too, man, this is really hard. I think because I've been like testing this a lot more, it's a lot easier to figure things out. But I think with the torso, I'm like what am I doing? So I guess I like having a bright color like this between two darker colors, and then I'll go over more yellow just because like blue and yellow, it's quite complementary. So you can see like over here I'm intentionally doing what's that, like higher opacity, so that the blue and the yellow doesn't blend that much together to become very muddy. But that's what's happening here. Like you can see it's starting to look really like muted colors are nice, but then I feel like this is not really that nice. So just bring back some of that saturation, I think. There's also something that I'm trying to figure out when it comes to lit PBR mode. I think like when it comes to the skin or like faces, that I like the look of it. But when it comes to these paints, I'm still not sure. Yeah, I'm still not sure. Like, I'm still not sure about this one. I feel like the metal is strong, but yeah, I really like this though. Like this is nice. I like this one too, I'll say. I mean, maybe I'll try on this. Oh my god, I haven't streamed in so long that I forgot to share like a tip for the day. But I guess this is this whole Vertex painting thing that I'm doing is like a tip of the day, I guess. So yeah, tip of the day, there's this keep sharp edges thing that you can play around with. Can also use it for, I think the main thing for this is using it for sculpting. Like let's say if if I want to smooth this, but I don't want to smooth the sharp edges on my sculpt, like these, then you can use a smooth brush and set the angle to a really low one. Then it will only smooth out these flat areas and then keep your edges sharp. That's why it's called keep sharp edges. I guess that makes sense. Like that's why it's called keep sharp edges. Oh, it looks so cute and golden. Why are you so cute? Okay, let me copy this. Oh, it's so precious. Going nuts. So because this is a really smooth object, I can't really use 22 degrees because that's like the same as painting like that. So maybe 5. It looks like some angry Pokemon. Now 5 is too much. I think 10. I guess this color is not bad. But then I don't really know what I want this color to be. Oh, this is nice. Like having this blue, and then it's like so accidental. I need to remember. So this and then this. I don't understand what's going on. I just understand that I like it a lot. But then that's going to be a problem because like when I make a tutorial, I'm just like, oh my god, like how do I how do I do it? Like actually with the scale armor tutorial, Masma's scale is completely different from like his final one, the one that I did in the past. And like it took me like, oh my god, it was like a grueling 4 hours trying to record the whole process. And then the whole time I'm just like, and then you do this, and then I'm like, wait a minute, no, like no, I don't want to do that, and then like, and then do it like this, and then like this keeps repeating over and over in like 4 hours. It's like so annoying. I wish that I'm more put together, man. Yeah, like the Masma tutorial is like was so jumbled up. I had to restructure like 4 times, I think, because I'll be like, wait a minute, like it doesn't make sense that I do this first over here, and then I'll like I'll like copy and paste, like cut and paste like to the front, and then the front was like so shit. Oh my god, I was like why am I doing that? Like, do I really need to explain this like A and B and C and D and E, and then in the end I only keep like D? Oh my god, I wonder how people make tutorials. I feel like my tutorials are like Like, unless I spend hours on scripting, I feel like it's so all over the place. Like, I hope that this butt doesn't want to be painted. Just use the normal brushes and paint this up. Yeah, I hope that my latest tutorial is I hope that is okay. This is getting muddy. I'm going to undo that. Maybe more like no. It's like, why does this one work and this one doesn't? It's a mystery to me. That's like this whole other area. You know what? This orange is really not bad at all. Like, it was the same thing with her hair. I'm like, I think initially her hair looked more like this, but I was thinking like it was missing something. Like, it was missing a lot of color. So I tried out this like darker colors variation in the hopes that it will contrast with the areas at the bottom, because like all these areas is like really like a lot of white parts down here, and I felt like when it went upwards like this, like all the way up here. Shit, do I still have it? Maybe I still have it. Wait, do I still have it? No, I don't have it. Okay. Yeah. Initially I thought like this was a bit like atrocious, but then after I like slapped on it and then I came back, I was like, oh, you know what? It's actually pretty nice. I feel like it's always like that. I'm like, oh my god, like why am I doing? Everything looks so shit. And then I'm like, let's just sleep on it because maybe I'm not thinking straight. And then the next morning I'll look at my stuff and be like, oh, like, oh. When I know that I say that out loud, I'm like, oh my god, like no wonder I'm so stressed up. Actually, why do I need to spend time thinking that my stuff is so shit? I feel like it's such a hazard. I think this one is not blending well enough. So I'll blend this color downwards a bit just so that it matches, and then get some of these colors. I'm still using the Keep Sharp, because like even on flat areas like this, it can give like a nice like plane change like this, like that. You can see like that. I think, and not is it obvious? Something like this. It's pretty nice. I think it also helps to keep some, like, it helps to give some sharpness to things, especially the really flat areas. Like even her forehead, if I do like this, which like it's more obvious if I exaggerate it. Can see like it gives these plane changes. So it's like I like using this for painting flat areas too. Although like with this, the cheek is a bit too like like I guess sometimes it can get a bit messy. And actually it's a bit too much. And if it gets too messy, then use the smudge and like just push things around a bit like this. So yeah, this was just some random paint stroke that I put, but I guess I like it. Yeah, I guess I like it. So I want to get more of these blues. Was it 10 or 15? 10. I feel like it's still way easier to think about what colors I want when I'm not talking. Oh, something nice. It's like this orange to blue to yellow and this light blue. It looks nice. So I'll make sure that I don't touch this area because it looks pretty nice. And maybe I want, now that I find this very nice area, I will want to propagate it to other places. Maybe more like the left side now because this is on the right side. So I'm starting to see it here. So let me grab this. And because I'm using like really light touches, actually, is it easy to see? Maybe it might be a bit hard to see. But because I'm using very light touches, then I tend to pick the color that's a bit more saturated so that I can press really lightly like this. So very light. Using, did I do something? I felt like something changed. Did something change? Oh my god. Am I going insane? So because I want to get this really thin area here, like this. So I'm using like 5%. I keep saying percent, it's supposed to be degrees. I'm using this like 5 degrees here. And then going to like in between. Because I think if I do wireframe, oh my god, my wireframe is so shit. But if I use 5 degrees, then even a plane change like this is quite affected. I can just show you like how it looks like with normal brush. You can see like it's a lot bigger, the radius. So use the 5 degrees like that. It's looking not bad. No, I like that this thing is going onto this. Because something that I like to do would be to, like, let's say if I like this. Let's say if I like this area here, then I'll want to try and like copy and paste it to other areas. And that's like a easy way to blend things together so that they don't look out of place. So like can see like this one, it's also kind of like blending in with this. So it looks quite like it's part of the design, even though it wasn't. And if it's not, then I'll make it part of the design since I like it a lot. The same thing with this, like this color is too like it's too striking, and it feels like it's just existing on her arm right now. So I'll just like bring it down a bit like this. So bring it down so that it blends in, and bring it down somewhere here too, and I guess this will make it look more like this, where like the pinks are like bordering with the blues. So I'm going to do that very, very, very thin, super thin. Oh, and there's like a purple area here, so like it kind of works out, because this purple area is like more, is this cooler color or is this warmer? I feel like with blues I don't really know like what is cooler and what's warmer. So something like this. But yeah, so like this area was looking quite flat, but because I put in this bright saturated color like here, you can see like it just gives like a really small push to look a bit more reflective, like this. Well, this is a bit hard to see because it's quite dark. I mean quite bright. So same thing with this. I want to blend this downwards. And blend this upwards. So I'm starting to grab wherever I can. I want to keep this white area here, so I need to be careful with where I put my brush strokes. Is this nice? And I feel like it's very hard to tell. Maybe I can keep it as a base. I'm not really sure. It's very hard to tell. I want to keep this one. Right now this area is looking very flat. So I think yeah, I think since I'm really stuck on this one, I will just work on all these areas. So you can see with the like 15 degrees, and I do like a paint like this, it looks so reflective because like it looks like this plane is reflecting that light, and then this plane is reflecting everything else. So it creates like this super reflective look. Like you can see this plane. It's kind of like faking reflection, which is very cool. So I want to keep this kind of plane change. Like with reflection, like it is reflecting like this. It has to reflect like the shape of the hair. So that's what I'm trying to do. Where like it's following intentionally this edge like this. So I guess like yeah, if I do a tutorial, then the shapes of things will matter a lot. Maybe this one. No. So like yeah, I just destroyed too much. Maybe I'll go with less. Oh, that looks nice. It's too much. Yeah, it looks so nice when it's like saturated to something. I want to exaggerate this one. And this is really fun. Even though I'm like struggling so much in my brain. I'm like, oh my god, what color to choose. It's all in good fun. I feel like that's probably why I like bouldering and climbing. Because I feel like this same like problem solving feeling. But it's like, and like it makes exercising so much fun. But the same thing with this is like just trying to figure things out that I'm interested in. Like it is very important to be interested in what I'm doing. Maybe I'll do like this pink here because like I feel like this area is not really working out. Yeah, it's really important to have interest in what you're doing. Which is also why I really want my tutorials to be like to give like a more general sense of things. Yeah, this is quite cool. Although I feel like it's a bit messy. I'm still trying to figure things out. That's pretty cool, and like it blends this down like that. Then maybe I'll work on these because these are like, wow, this is really cool. I can show you my first. Wait, I need to remember to save. I can show you like my first try, which is like super atrocious. I'm like, yeah, this was like giving me so much stress because I was like, no, are you not comfortable? Latte. I feel like I need to use my left hand to draw so that I can warm up my right hand on my pup. But you can see like this was me trying out normal painting and it's just so atrocious. I'm like, oh my god. I felt like giving up. It's like, and especially with things like this, I'm like it looks so flat and I feel like the details are lost. And then it also makes me question, like why did I do such a detailed sculpt in the first place when like I can't use it, or like I can't showcase it. So yeah, I felt like after finding, like after realizing that I can paint like this, yeah, it's so weird. Like I felt so. What was that feeling? That was feeling. But yeah, it was like a huge relief because I was like, I was feeling so stressed out, man. I was feeling so stressed out that the things that I do doesn't make sense or like it's so much wasted time. I feel like it's not healthy to put so much pressure on myself, but what to do? Oh my god, this is so pretty. I haven't tried painting these petals. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Can see like, cause I feel like maybe it feels very stupid, but like I feel so happy just seeing this. Like maybe if I'm feeling more like, if I feel more hormonally emotional, maybe I will start crying. I'm just so thankful that I didn't give up on myself, you know. Okay, so do I want this color? This color looks pretty cute, huh? Oh, it looks quite cute. Thank God, I feel so smart. I feel so smart when things are going my way, even if I don't understand what's going on. Let me see. This is quite nice. Like in between this two. Then I think, what was it? Was I using 15 or 10? Maybe 10 because it's quite flat. Or should I use 5? I feel like 5 because like I have to decimate a lot with my old iPad because I have no RAM for this, so it's quite like, in some sense it's quite low resolution. So I think 5 is bringing out all these like blotchiness a bit too much. So maybe use 10. And I think I'll just end it here, end the stream here. And I like that dark color thing. Man, it's so cool when things are working out. And like, I feel like for me, which is also why it takes so long for me to do things, is that things don't work out like 90% of the time. So when it does, it really makes me happy, you know. Why am I saying, you know? So I think this is lacking some color. So I'm going to, do I want a complementary? Oh, that looks pretty nice. But I think it's a bit too orange, so maybe, yeah, I think that looks nicer. So like sometimes I like to go to like complementary colors, and then on the boundaries, no, that's too intentional. No, I think because this is too flat, maybe I do 5. Because I just want a bit of a deep like that. No, that's not nice. No. Oh my god, this is like the 90% of the time. I spoke too soon. No. When things are not working, I'll just move on to the next thing. Like, not bad. Unless, oh my god, no. This is dangerous, man. Yeah, I should move this up. I'm always paranoid that I select the trim tool. So maybe it's better if it's up there. Maybe like this. I feel like my toolbar changes so much every time I'm doing a new stream. I feel like it's like a completely different version. Maybe man, it looks dirty. Maybe I'll just like bring in the blues and then go back to this and like just bring up the saturation a bit, like that. Sometimes I find that a easier way to like blend colors. So like get the complementary color a bit and then go back with like a saturated color of the same thing and then go back to it just to clean up the really muddy colors, like this. Same thing. Although this one is probably a bit less because the blues are pretty light. Oh, it looks so pretty. How does it look like? Looks so pretty. So if you're doing flowers like me, and like, let's say you have petals like this, then just add a bit of like in and out, using the crease brush. Where's the crease brush? And then just like go in and go out, like in and out, in and out. And that will give a really nice base to use this keep sharp edges painting method, because I can see it starts like popping out now. It really feels magical when this happens. I like to do a blend, like let's say I do like a, no, I don't like this. So like do like this and then I go like either way and then go another pass and then go up again, go down again, maybe boost the saturation a bit and then put in some more stuff, and that way you can create this gradient like that. Then sometimes you can use the same color to go over the older areas, and then that will tie things closer together. Or like maybe I don't really like it actually, so I'll go over it again with maybe this color, and then this one same thing. I want a pretty dark color for the inside. I kind of want to get this kind of look though, just a bit. Like sometimes, so the idea behind this is that sometimes leaves are more reflective than, I think most plants, like a lot of plants, the flower petals are not that reflective, and because they're like softer and all that stuff. So I'm not going to do this over here, but I think I can do something similar. But I'm so not sure. Yeah, I'm still struggling with doing the darker colors. And like it's starting to get onto these like it just looks quite cool. I think especially the flat areas, I'm trying to be very careful not to touch these bright areas. I'm like touching the darker side. You like this. And then instead of undoing this, like because I don't like it, I'll just paint over it like that. And that way it will make it look more reflective, because it's like a dark area here and then suddenly it goes back up to a bright stuff. Man. It looks so pretty. Oh my god. I feel like live streaming is the only time when I can be like fangirling over my own stuff. I can't do that in my tutorials. I think a lot of times in the the scale armor tutorial, I'll just be like, oh my god, it looks so good. But then it's not professional. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Oh, I want something like this in real life. I don't like how this is so like Is it because I should just smudge this? Yeah. I think this one is still, because I added more saturation to this, this one is lacking quite a lot of that blue saturation. The mid-tone saturation, I mean. So I'm going to just like flick it. Because it's such a flat piece of geometry, I have to be careful where I'm pressing. Like over here, if I just do this, it's... Oh, do I want that? Oh, you know what? Maybe I want that. let me get that. Ah, so pretty. Why is so pretty? It doesn't matter if other people don't like this. As long as I like it, that's all that matters. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at that. Look at that, like, dark and light contrast. It's so pretty. I feel like now the mission is to put this really pretty color everywhere. This color combination reminds me of the northern lights. I'm still not really sure about this color, but I like the green, so I do want to keep something, like maybe keep a cousin of this. I'm not sure, but since this one's quite close to the hair, I'm going to do this. So bring it up there. So yeah, like it looks very complicated, right? But it's, I mean, the mesh is complicated, but you can get the same thing with this, where like you can see, do I like this? I feel like it's a bit ambiguous whether or not I like this. Maybe I like it? I don't know. Maybe? It's very hard to tell. I'm still not sure about this one. I'm still not sure about this. I'm still not sure about this one too. I guess that's not bad. Having some but it's getting quite muddy, so I'm going to get the yellow like this and go over the muddy areas, just to give like a more saturation in the the grays. I feel like if you know how to paint, I think it will also help with the process of choosing colors and stuff. I feel like I'm still trying to figure out like really basic things, because I'm not like I don't really know how to choose colors and stuff. And I'm still so reliant on like getting all these how to say, like this accidental thing, and using that to build up the scene. Like this. Yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I think I'm just adding a little bit of this color so that they blend a little bit better. This one's a bit, I guess the same thing with this, like I want some of this over here. Just so that it looks like it blends, or like they are sitting right beside each other. Because the way that I'm painting is more like more illustration, 2D painting kind of thing. So like I have to make this kind of intentional adjustments. Oh, this looks nice, so I'll do it a bit better. Do I like this? No. And this one's a bit hard too. It looks very nice though. Same thing with this. Although it's a bit harder because the blue is darker over here. And I want to put this over here. Maybe. And then when I'm happy with this, I can go to operations and like slide this around. Well, sometimes it's a bit hard. The difficult thing about this is that when you slide this up, when you move the sliders, it resets to 100%. So it becomes like, yeah, it becomes a bit hard, like a bit difficult to like know what kind of adjustments I'm making. I think one of the problems now is that this and this and this looks quite different. But I think that's like a nice good problem to have. Like it's not a bad problem to have. And I think like after I try things out a bit more and then bring things closer to what I want them to be, then I can start going to like maybe this one. Maybe I want it on this just to like blend, like tie them together like this. So actually it looks pretty nice. So I'll just end it here. I think the summary, start with the bright areas and then go to like the midtones and shadows and slide this around and paint like random colors like this. If it doesn't look nice, then just undo it. But sometimes you can get really nice accidents like this. You're like, oh, it looks pretty nice. Like it looks very cute like this. looks like it's glowing a little bit. So you just try things, like I like to try, like let's say if this is the base color, I like to try going around it and also the complementary color of it. Here the color looks quite pretty with this. Ooh, it looks interesting. Interesting doesn't necessarily mean good, but it's still interesting. Okay, I guess I have to go now. Pup is moving. Goodbye. I'll see you in the next one.